All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Woo. I need some water. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mr. Poseidon. Welcome to the live stream this evening. Today we have as our guest Orlando from NorCalKat lures. Top of the line lures. People want these, and I mean people want these. There is a 14-month waiting list on that. Wow. So we're trying, there we go. We got him on right now. So he's standing by on the side. That's really awesome. Woohoo. All right, so anyway, welcome everybody to the show today. It's going to be a good one. Like I said, we got Orlando on from NorCalKat Lures. Top of the line lures. These things are wanted, and like I said, a 14-month waiting list. So before we get to Orlando, let's start by saying hello to the subscribers. So my mom's out there. What's up, Mom? Good to see you. Yeah, boy. So I got my buddy, okay, let's start from the top. Stop. We're going too fast for me. Jason Palmatier, Ocean State Bass Fishing, Oscar Bell Baera, Jason Palmatier, David K, Striper Seeker, Chris Gannon, what's up, my good brother? John Francisconi, Edwin Rivera, Frank Azevedo from California, out there with his buddy. That's right, Orlando from NorCalKat Lures. Get ready, guys. We're going to hear a good one today. Mario Gandini, Heaven and L Outdoors. L, good evening, darling. The only female subscriber I have and one of my top subscribers I got out there. Thank you for that, Heaven and L, darling. I appreciate that. Who else do we got out there? Well, I think we got James Ferguson and Fabio Vieira. We got Vinny Sniper, Stephen Hastings. What's going on, my brother? Welcome. You'll be glad to hear I got a good guest on, Stephen, today, as I'm usually getting now. But before I introduce our next guest, I want you guys to know one thing. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers. So really quick, let me reach down. Mr. Poseidon never, ever messes around. So I'm going to put the overhead view. I'm going to pop that overhead view on here, or should I get it? I got it. There we go. So right there, guys, at 1,000 subscribers, let me turn that to the side. You got a VS250 BXB Surf. That's going to be out there. Wow. I'm going to put that up. It's bought. It's done. And also, I got the Van Staal 7-inch pliers. And also what's coming in the mail is the VR. So this will be all set up for a 1, 2, and 3 prize. But today, and that's just a little tidbit. It's coming up. I got to get to 1,000 subscribers. Help me get there, guys. Where's that? So today I'm going to have a nice gift for you guys. I'm going to be giving away a Bubba fishing pliers, 8.5 stainless steel. Comes with a holder in the back. Looks like pretty good pliers. Cutters there. Everything is there.
Nice.
Handle, the hook. Just about everything you want on that. So that'll be on today's giveaway. So what else did I want to say, honey? What was the important thing that we wanted to get?
That your giveaway is coming up.
I think that's it. I think we're ready to introduce Big Orlando here.
Okay.
I think so. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a nice warm welcome for my buddy Orlando from NorCalKat Lures. Orlando, what's up, buddy?
Sound check.
Sound check. There we go. Hold on.
Pop that off and on.
Let me. I got to reset mine. Stand by. I think I should be back on. Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Oh, fantastic. We hear you just excellent here. Just the way I planned.
Fabio Vieira says, Orlando's a beast.
That's right.
Do you know Fabio? I hope you know Fabio, Orlando.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to start off by saying that I was on Instagram and I first saw your lures. And then my buddy Adrian just got his delivered a few weeks ago. I guess he was on that long waiting list, which we'll talk about in a minute. But he did get them. I saw them, and I really liked them. And that's what gravitated me towards you. I wanted to get you on and to find out this hot thing going on with your lures right now. So before we even start with that, I want to ask you, Orlando, how did you get started in the surf fishing industry?
Surf fishing, I actually got introduced it through Mike Fixter, which is the gentleman that taught me everything I know regarding striper fishing and striper plug building. Mike Fixter has been building plugs for 50 plus years. He's kind of like the OG when it comes to plug building in the West Coast. And he had a big influence on the East Coast plug builders as well. Um, he he's one of the first guys to use a specific kind of wood for topwater lures. He's basically a pioneer of what people consider industry standard now for plug building. He kind of set that path for everybody. So, but to answer your question, that's how I got into surf casting for stripers. I was a big fisherman prior in Southern California, but when I moved to Northern California, it's night and day difference. The best way I could describe it is fishing in Southern California is like fishing in Florida.
Right.
And then when you go to Northern California, it's like fishing in New York.
Correct.
It's not even the same game. It's totally different. So it was definitely a struggle at first, and I did when I moved out here to Northern California. I heard about stripers prior, but never even caught one prior.
Right.
And I struggled. I knew how to fish, but going after stripers is a whole different ball game. Especially out here in the West Coast, it's very similar to the East Coast, but our numbers are not as big as they are on the East Coast. So the struggle is a little bit enhanced, you could say, over here. So I basically made an account on Stripers Online. We're talking almost 20 years ago.
Yes.
That was the only way. There was no multimedia. There was no,
Correct.
But none of that. I mean, I don't even know if MySpace was a thing back then.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
So, yeah, I made an account there and, just kind of reached out and said, hey, who's willing to show me the ropes?
Right.
And it's the old guard. You have to remember, nobody was really open. Nobody spot burned. Nobody. It was like the old guard surf casting.
Correct.
Everybody's very secretive. So they were very careful about what they say online. And Mike basically reached out to me and said, hey, if you want, come by my house. And I'll show you the basics at one of my ponds of, how to work a lure and kind of what to look for.
Right.
At that point, I didn't know who Mike was. I mean, he was just some guy just reaching out to me. I had no, I didn't know his history behind, the plug making and all that. So, yeah. So basically, he invited me to his house and showed me, the basics at his local pond, and I was pretty intrigued. And he showed me, hey, these are the lures I make, tit-cat striped bass, and I was like, oh, man, that's pretty tight. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, this guy's like a professional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that time, that's what I was thinking. And I said, so he showed me the basics, and then I said, hey, do you mind, taking me out fishing one of these days? And he's like, you got to remember, these guys are old school, man. He's
Same
like,
here.
that's not how I roll. I don't take people out. I'm not a guide.
Right.
And the type of fishing I do is not what most guys think of what fishing is. Most guys want to throw a bait and just sit in a chair and wait.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I'm that's not the type of fishing. I said, like, I'm up for the challenge. I go, well, you got my number. If something ever pops up, you want to invite me, just let me know. And yeah, I ventured out on the information he gave me, so I did a little bit more research, and you know, I started surf casting
Hmm.
out here, and I started catching some stripers. You know, I mean, nothing big. I was catching like 28 inches or so. You know, nothing like ginormous or anything. But, um, you know, I started getting like more into it, and then like one afternoon, Mike gives me a call out of the blue. We're talking maybe like a month or two later.
Right.
You know, and he's like, "Hey, you know, I know you wanted to go fishing in the past." He goes, "My fishing partner, he has some plans, so." He goes, so there's a chance for you to go out. Do you want to go out fishing? And I said, all right, I'm down to go. I was like, what time do you want me to be at your house? He's like, all right, be here like at, like I can't recall. I think he said like 10.
Right.
And I was like, all right, cool. I'll see you tomorrow. And he's like, what do you mean tomorrow? And he's like, I'm thinking 10 a.m.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean? And he's like, nah.
Uh,
He's like, I want to here at 10 o'clock at night. I was like, at this point of my fishing career for striped bass, I was just fishing for them in the day, early
sure.
morning, afternoon, or in the evening. Never did any like night fishing.
The old timers, buddy, they always know. They always know. Night, day,
Yeah.
whatever it is, they always know, man. But go
Yeah.
ahead, continue, Orlando.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, 10 o'clock at night. I was like, all right. I mean, at this point, I had a little bit of inclination of who Mike Fixer was. I've done my research. I kind of followed his posts, and I was like, damn, this guy's like a legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't deny it. So I hang up, look at my wife, and I was like, that guy, Mike Fixer, he kind of showed me the ropes and some, how to work a plug and how to fish the
Right.
stripers. And she's like, yeah. He's like, well, he invited me out to fish. But she's like, all right, cool. And then I was like, yeah, but he told me to be at his house at 10. And I was like, and she's like, at 10? What the hell are you guys going to do at 10 o'clock at night? I was like, apparently we're going to go fish. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I got to go. I mean,
Right. Right.
I'm not going to flake on this guy.
Of
First
course not.
impressions is everything.
Of course not.
So I so I get all my stuff together, and I had a real basic setup. I think I had like a Shimano, I think it was a Claris, like 8'6" rod. I had like a Shimano Sedona 4000 reel, like 30-pound braid. It was like really basic, nothing crazy. But that's what I was kind of winging it with.
Right.
And I didn't have like no serious like surf gear. Like
That's how we all start.
yeah.
I think I went surf fishing in short pants one time. Yeah, those were my early days anyway.
Yeah. I think
So,
we all
Orlando, I want to ask you, continuing. So, I see how you got into it. Now, the gentleman you were talking about, his name again is?
Mike Fixter.
Mike Fixture. Is he what you would call a legend out there? Because sounds to me
not
like
just out here, man. I'm telling you, East Coast guys. You mentioned that name, Mike Fixter,
Okay.
and if you go on on Stripers Online,
yeah, he's on there.
there's like I want to say it's over 100-page thread on how forums work. There's
Right,
like 10
right.
posts per page. There's
Right.
like over 100-page thread, I believe, on just his lures. People showing off his lures that they have of his.
Yeah, I'm always on. Believe it or not, I'm always on surfratsball.com.
Yeah, with
That's
Bill Wetzel.
Bill
Yeah,
Wetzel.
I'm on
yeah.
there too.
Oh yeah, so I see you there once in a
Oh,
while.
okay.
Right on. Yeah. So I was gonna say that. Continuing. So, who taught you? Was he the gentleman that was making plugs that said, "Hey, this is how you're gonna make them, Orlando"? How did you get into that end of the business now?
So to fast forward, basically, I became Mike Fixer's fishing partner.
Right on.
We fish, sometimes 6 days a week. I mean,
Oh,
we
what a
grind. It was
dream.
a grind. You know what I mean. And for years, I just wanted to learn how to fish. I had
Right.
no interest on making lures. or any of that because I have Mike Fixer in my pocket, dude. I have the dude that freaking makes lures freaking in my pocket. So if I wanted something made, I just say, hey, Mike, can you make me something? I want this or whatnot. Or I'd see the lures he would catch fish
Right,
with,
right,
and I'd be like, I want one of those.
right on. That's how we all are. That's how we all are.
Yeah.
Adrian Ayala is on actually right now, Orlando. He's the gentleman who introduced me to your lures. I just want to give a big shout out. What's up, Adrian? Thank you so much for this. This all happened because of you. So go ahead, Orlando. Let it rip.
So yeah, so for years I just, I would just use his lures. Now, I always modified existing lures, and very similar to, you know, I think one of the East Coast legends out there is Steve Campo.
Yes.
He's really known for
Yes.
taking existing lures and modifying them
Yeah.
to do certain things. And I always did that. I modified lures, and I've always said you can make one lure into like 5 different lures just by changing attributes to them.
Yeah. Right.
Um, so I always done stuff like that. So I started like showing Mike stuff like that, and he's like, "Hey, how about I show you how to make a plug?" And I was like, "Nah, Mike, I'm not interested, man. I'm not.
Right.
I'm just having fun. My main concern was I want to be a good striper fisher. I want to
Right.
learn how to catch trophy striped bass
Right.
consistently. That was my focus. But to get to your question, it hit me one day. You know, I started seeing where our fishery was going out here in the West Coast,
Right.
and how everybody was like started going. This is when like Instagram started popping up, Facebook started popping up, and everybody was like so like focused on showing off what
Yes.
they caught, and all this, but nobody was talking about like good habits on, whether it be how to properly revive a fish, or how to, just simple catch and release methods. Nobody was really talking about that stuff,
Right.
and I so it just hit me like one day. I was like, man, what if if you're just like how can I say, if you're like a big public figure, people are willing to pay attention to you, versus if you're just an average guy, some guys will just don't want to have to hear what you have to say. Um, so it came to me, kind of dawned on me, like, hey, what if I made like fishing plugs? This is just I was like forecasting like years down the road, what I wanted to do. In my head, I was like, what if I made started making some nice plugs, and I use that as a tool so I could reach out to people and talk about them, about importance of having a healthy fishery, good fishing habits, and we all start somewhere, man. That's the thing.
Orlando, what you said right now, I have to stop you for 1 second. Talking about saving our fishery and catch and release, it's what I try so hard to let everybody know out there. Catch and release, very important. Personally, I've caught a few striped bass, and when I mean a few, 3 in the last 4 years I had to keep. And I say had to because I do fish the rivers, and here by the rivers, when the stripers are up here, the only way to get them is with a bloodworm. Now, last year I didn't have any fish swallow my hook due to the fact that New York State changed over to circle hooks, which has helped, I feel, tremendously. I didn't get any fish swallow the hook. The years before that, like I said, I took 3 fish home in 4 years because I just couldn't I couldn't throw it back in and have it just die. So I brought it home, I harvested it correctly, and I'm not a guy who catches and release. I'm not a guy who likes to keep fish. I like to catch and release, and when you're releasing that fish, and many fishermen out there know the feeling, when you release, it's a tremendous, tremendous feel, especially if you caught a big fish and you've been reviving him for a little while and he comes back. It's a good feeling to release him. So, Orlando, going back to you with that being said, go ahead, buddy.
So yeah, just to kind of piggyback off what you said, people. That's what I kind of wanted to do with my lures, is like being able to talk to people and give them an opportunity to have that first feeling. You remember the first striped bass you caught and you released?
Yes, I
You
do.
know, it stays with you forever.
Forever.
And that, especially if it's a nice fish,
Yes.
you learn to appreciate it that much more because you probably grinded already 10 nights in a row without catching anything.
Yes.
You've gone through freaking lack of sleep.
Absolutely.
You've gone through spending $2,000 on gear that you think you need. You've gone through all those emotions.
You couldn't have said that
and then
better.
when you finally catch that fish and then you
Yep.
take the time to revive it and release it,
Yep.
it's priceless,
Dynamite.
man. It's priceless.
Priceless. Icing on the cake, baby.
Yeah. Jason
Yeah.
says CPR, catch, photo, release.
That's it.
Like
Yeah.
Jason says.
Yeah.
Jason's one of my top subscribers there. He's up in Massachusetts. He's a hardcore guy, and he believes very much in the preservation of the striped bass and saving it for future generations. He also taught me one thing, Jason. If you watch the new video I put out about 20 minutes before the live stream, I mentioned you in it. If you get a chance, watch it, and you'll understand. It was talking about the dorsal fin. Jason always told me, if you see this dorsal fin standing, he's still okay. But once the dorsal fin drops, the striped bass is pretty much in distress. So you got to try as quick as possible to put it back in that water. Right. I've learned so much in starting my YouTube channel. I thought I knew it all. But with all the preservation and people explaining to me, I don't know what's going to happen with the boga in the future on my side. That's the next step for me. Many people have to understand that a big, heavy fish you catch, if you're hanging it from the lip, these things are living in zero gravity. Now they're in gravity, and all that inside is like a mush, and it's squeezing. So it isn't good. If you're going to take a picture sideways as quick as you can, if you have to weigh it, which I feel I still do, so I'm not making any excuses, and you have to weigh it, just do it as quick as possible and get it back in the water. Make sure she's fully revived, and you'll know when she's fully revived when she kicks your hand away with that tail. But anyhow, going back to Orlando, I want to show my subscribers some of your plugs. I have them up on pictures. I'm going to run them off one by one right here because you do really make some nice plugs, buddy. I like them.
Yeah.
So we'll start putting up the pictures. Let's not put that one last, honey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's put this one.
Yeah, that one's nice. So here you got I don't know if you can see it, if you have a picture of it there. But can you tell me what that one is? So beautiful.
Okay, so that's a spook. I make like 6 different spooks, but that's one of them. It's called a hired gun. And it's a topwater spook. The profile, when I've been a big fan of spooks for years. It's actually one of my favorite topwater plugs to use. That's why I make 6 different ones.
Right.
But the hired gun there is, as you can see, you see the red around the hooks?
Yes.
Okay, so that is
I love that, by the way.
tied onto that hook.
Okay.
Braid is tied onto that hook. So basically, I have a buddy of mine. He owns a company called Straight Braid. And he ties custom hooks for a lot of people that have like fixed attachment points on lures.
Right.
So it's more of a collab that I do with him. Instead of using a swivel or fixed hook position, that's braid that could twist. So you know how sometimes
sure.
Your hook, if it's on a solid mounting point, it could bind up with the spit ring.
I see what you're
so
saying.
With braid,
right
it could twist and it won't bind up.
There you go.
So yeah, so that's very, very it's a very good lure. Some nice fish have been caught on those.
Well, I know. I want to just let you know that here on the East Coast, we do use a lot of spoofs. I know one of my subscribers who loves spoofs, Joe Bejavenka. That's Hellish Storm. He loves his spoofs. He was killing them over the spring, I know for a fact. Just killing the fish on the spoof. So go ahead, going back to you again.
So yeah, to piggyback what you were talking about earlier, remember I told you I was going to go fishing on yesterday. I was going to fish on Saturday.
Okay.
Well, man, we started. I woke up at freaking 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I didn't get home till 7 o'clock at night.
Whoa. Oh, it was a good day. It was a good day?
We grinded.
Yeah?
It was a good day, but we grinded.
We grinded.
It was all day, nonstop,
Right.
casting. You know, what I mean, and we caught some nice fish. One fish was close to 30 pounds.
Nice,
Wow.
dude. So that you see, that's what I love to hear. And again, to all my subscribers, you just heard what Orlando said. He said it 3 times. We grind it. We grind it. We
Yeah.
grind it. Don't expect to go out there for an hour once a week or once every 2 weeks and hope. You could get lucky. You can get lucky, but most chances are, if you want it to happen on a consistent basis, you got to get out there. Cold, hot, whatever it is. You hear fish are there. Take a shot. Get out there, man, and fish it hard. Don't just go there after an hour and give up. Because that hour after you're going to leave is when incoming tide changes there. And boom, the fish start hitting, and you don't know. Just stick it out and find out and make sure you get all your details from as many people as you can get, which is what I try to do all the time. I'm not embarrassed to talk to people. I'll talk to people right there on the beach. How long you been here? How many fish you caught? If he tells me nothing, then I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. But he could be a smart fisherman. He could have caught 3 30-pounders and told me that. But anyway, that's another story. Other than that.
So leading on that fish we caught, I was on my boat, and we're fishing the river system. And there's submerged trees and there's all kinds of, the river's flowing. And so I had to be like Captain Jack Sparrow out there and maneuver that boat around while he's hooked up, because what those fish will do is they'll take you right into the submerged trees and hang you up. And so we maneuvered around and whatnot. And the most important thing is when you're fishing, when you know there's a potential of catching big fish, I please urge you, don't mess around with light tackle. Don't mess around with light tackle. If it takes you longer than 5-10 minutes to land a fish, you're doing it a disservice. Even if you're going to try to revive the fish, you're already doing it a disservice. Do yourself a favor. Be a little bit more serious if you know there's potential of catching big fish, and step up your gear. You know what I mean? We caught into this nice fish. We landed it literally probably within 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, it was we netted it. We netted it, and we kept her in the water. We didn't pull her out of the water because, in my opinion, one of the worst things you could do. When you catch a fish, it's all different situations, but you always have to have kind of a game plan as far as what you're going to do. As soon as we net the fish, we kept her in the water. We're hooting and hollering, but we just kept her in the water, because when you're fighting a fish, you're basically asked her to run a marathon full speed.
Right.
And one of the worst things you could do is take her out of the water and suffocate her. Right. She doesn't breathe air.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's true.
That'd be like me telling you, hey, go sprint for 400 meters, and then as soon as you're done sprinting, jump in that pool that's right next there, and go and jump in there and hold your breath. That's what you're asking that striped bass to do.
Definitely.
So my first inclination, and I'm not going to say I've always been perfect, but with time and experience, I've learned to improve my technique when it comes to handling fish. So as soon as we caught that fish, we left her in the water. We revived her in the net. We unhooked her and everything, and we just revived her in the net. Make sure that she was getting oxygen and water through her gills. Put her in the direction of the water coming downstream, and we literally just revived her for about 10 minutes. Not once did we take her out of the water, any of that stuff. And so our first goal was to revive her. We caught her, revived. It was our first goal, not the picture.
Right.
I mean, if people think that catch her, picture, but think about it. How long is it taking you to set up and get that picture? I think it should be other way around. Like I said, I've learned over the many years I'm fishing, and I constantly, every time I fish, I learn to, analyze what's the best technique I could use. So if you have the opportunity to keep that fish in the water, catch it, revive it. Then once you know she's, like your buddy said, those fins stand up, she's ready to go. Then you could maybe get it out. By then, if you have a buddy with you, You could lift her up, supporting her weight,
Right.
and get a quick picture, which will
Right.
take you 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Put her
That's
back
it.
down, put her back in the water.
And
And
she's
if you
gone,
want to,
yeah.
if it didn't come out good, at least you're holding her back in the water.
That's right.
Come back up, get another picture, put her back in the water,
That's right.
and you revive her again, and then let her go.
That's it.
You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
so you know,
Absolutely.
it's just, we all learn with you know. Am I gonna say
Experience.
I've always been the perfect catch and release guy? No, but I've
Yeah, I hear
always
you.
learned to improve.
Exactly.
You know
got
what I mean? And I always take criticism that comes my way,
Right.
and I take it as a constructive criticism in ways I can improve.
I got a question coming from one of the subscribers here,
Mary?
Orlando. Yeah, it's coming from Mario Gandini. He's asking, how long did you learn from Mike before you ventured off on your own? Did you modify Mike's plug to make it your own? If so, what's the difference?
Okay, so I think I fished with Mike for about six years before he started showing me how to make a plug.
Right.
And one thing that Mike told me, he said, if you're gonna make a plug, make it your own style.
There you go.
Make it your own style. You don't be a me too. You know, don't be a guy that like copies somebody else's stuff or tries to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like have your own style. That way when somebody sees your plug,
Right.
they immediately can identify it and say that's Orlando's plug. So when I started making plugs, I mainly made plugs for myself. And
Right.
every single plug that I make now,
I got a plug up
Start-
there showing right now what you do, but go ahead.
yeah. So that's my nuke spook. That's another
Beautiful.
nuke
Beautiful.
style, and they're all different tools.
Oh my goodness,
That
beautiful.
plug does a complete different job than the other spook you showed previously.
I see.
I wouldn't use them at the same time.
Right.
But they're both spooks.
Right.
So, to answer your question,
Yes.
so every lure that I make now,
Yeah.
at one point was a tool that I needed for myself.
Right.
So I started making spooks in a very slim, thin profile. Because I needed a tool because a lot of our bait fish fitted that profile. So so a lot of my lures that I made were basically tools for myself. But I've
Right.
always said every single plug that I make has a little bit of Mike Fixer in it. That's just because of the history I have behind him. I mean, he's showed me the ropes. You know, the stuff that I know on how to make plugs. And I talk to Mike almost every day.
Right.
To
Right.
this day. We talk about plugs, we talk about modifying, we talk about jigs and how we're gonna, just the creation of stuff. But every single plug, I always say, has a little bit of Mike Fixer because
Sure.
there's no way that I would be able to be at the level that I am
yeah,
now.
right.
I'm still learning. I'm always improving. I sometimes I laugh at myself. I'm like, holy
We
shit.
all are. We all are always improving. And if you don't believe that, then it's tough on you because it's nice to always learn new things in life. That's what keeps us going. I got another picture of one of your plugs up, Orlando. Can you tell me that one?
Yeah, that's a little neck. That's basically a little neck. But
I love that little
I
thin
really
waist.
don't-
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a real thin profile. And the reason that I have that thin profile is I want that thing to sink quick. I
Uh-huh.
want it to sink quick and be able to pop it and sink right back
Nice.
down. Pop it and
Nice.
sink right back down. Now, I'll be very honest with you. I think Super Strike, their little necks, is the best popper there is out there.
I like them. I have them, definitely.
I even have one of them in my bag.
Yeah,
you know what I
definitely.
mean? So the black-eyed little neck popper,
Yes.
it's perfection. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
it is. It really is.
The only reason I started making little necks is guys started asking me, "Hey,
Yeah.
can you make me one?" You know what I mean? That is the only reason I started. And I said, okay, if I'm gonna make them, I'm gonna make them to where the attributes
Right.
that I can be best. And a lot of my lures, I like thin profiles because that's how a lot of them our baits are. They're very thin.
It's true.
profile baits.
It's true. Especially out here in the Northeast, we use needlefish. As far as thin profiles, you got eels, thin profiles, all the fish, thin profiles, except for the bunker peanut bunker. They make those a little thicker. But listen, I don't want to talk about what is better than the other because everybody makes good stuff. The stuff that at least that I use, that I can get to use, I will always, I don't want to say a bad thing about anybody. I won't say anything if I don't like the plug. If it's good, I'll talk about it. I'm very excited about yours, Orlando. I will be on that list too. Hopefully I can get a week or two in advance. But other than that, I'll be glad to get on that list and wait for it because I'm not stopping surf fishing anytime soon, without a doubt. Maybe we can get a old timers quick release form or something. But anyway, other than that, it's all good, buddy. It's all good. I want to show the next lure up. You got a nice little, looks like a pencil popper. It's coming up right now. See if you could see it up on your screen yet, Orlando.
It's white. Oh, mostly white.
I love the outside, how you have that cross style, like scales. Oh my God, it's beautiful, man.
Thank you, man.
I like that. Look. It's the same thing with dog food and cat food. If you ever watch a commercial on TV, they used to have a commercial where they used to show the dog food on a fork. And, if you're hungry, McDonald's hungry, and you're looking at it on TV, you're going, man, that looks good. I'm getting that for my dog. It's the same thing with the laws for us. I look at some of these things and I say, well, I love this. Why wouldn't a striped bass just adore this? But I know you put your quality time into this, Orlando. Orlando, I want you to explain to me, do you have a team that does this for you? Can you put up those lures, honey, where they're multiple in that picture?
Hold
I want
on,
to show.
and somebody wants to know how many do you produce in a month?
Yeah,
John
Francisconi's asking.
In a month, I could probably, it really depends because the process that I have to make a plug, I can honestly turn and burn but it won't be to the quality that I'd like to put out.
Right.
There's a lot of processes that I have to wait 5 days in between. I have 2 stages of my plug building that I literally have to wait 5 days for that period to end. And one is when I seal them. I seal the plugs internally, and then I have to let them dry for 5 days. So those plugs, the set of plugs, don't get touched for 5 days. And then when I paint them,
right,
I let them cure for 5 days.
Right.
Just them sitting is 10 days of them sitting doing nothing. So
wow.
To answer the question, anywhere from about a month to a month and a half. I usually build in batches, and I build about 100 plugs. Wow. And it'll take a month and a half.
Now I have to ask you, Orlando, are you doing this by yourself?
Yes.
Wow, Orlando. Now I get the 14-month thing here, buddy.
Yeah.
You're working 12 hours a day.
I do everything. I do my own multimedia. I do my own packaging. I do my own designing, like graphics and all that stuff. And some stuff I hire people for, but some stuff I've done myself.
Right.
I do everything. I wear every single hat. I'm the marketing guy. I'm the shipping and receiving guy. I'm the purchasing guy. I'm the builder. Yeah. You wear multiple hats. People don't realize all the stuff. But
Orlando, I need 2 of you guys. Just 2 of you, and I'm set for life, man. Let me tell you, buddy.
There's a lot of processes that people don't realize. Bending the wires. I get stainless steel wire and I cut them to spec to certain lures, and I bend those wires one by hand. I wish I had the money to afford the machinery, but some of these machinery is going to cost you $20,000.
That's right. You'll never pay that off, man. In the end, it's look at me. What you're doing, I think, is fabulous. Every single individual plug is taking your care into it, and only your care. Because I just asked you, are you the only one doing this? You told me yes. Unless you got your girlfriend in the background painting them and we don't know about it, hey. But I'm pretty sure that you're working all this stuff by yourself. You put a lot of care into it. I always wish people the best, always in their ventures in life. I wish you the best in that, Orlando. I'm not getting rid of you right now or anything. I'm just letting you know that I wish you the best. Go ahead, hon. What did you want to say?
This other little purple and white plug is
it's coming up right now. Another pretty thing. Also, I want to let you know, Orlando, that my subscriber here, His name is Jason Parmentier. He's on right now. And he also makes his own plugs. He sent me a plug here. Jason, maybe you can tell him this. I think it's triple coated. He put YouTube on one side, Mr. Poseidon on the other. He likes to crush his barbs. This is what he uses up in Massachusetts to catch his cows. Jason has gotten quite a few cows in his life, but that's what he makes there. And I know for a fact you put the same care into yours, man, without a doubt. Orlando, put that purple lure back up. So that little purple lure there, you can see that's a metal lip right there. You can tell me about that one, buddy?
That's a peanut, 4.5 inches. It runs about 2 ounces. It'll swim about 1 to 2 feet untouched. But metal lip lures in general,
right,
are very. If you learn how to use a metal lip,
correct,
on the attributes of the metal lip, how to tune it,
right,
they could be deadly tools. You turn an average fisherman,
yes.
But
you got to know how to use them, like you said. And I have a subscriber, Kevin, who's Kevin in Staten Island? I forget.
Maltezo?
Yeah, Kevin Maltezo. He loves his metal lips. He catches a lot of cows, man. And I know for a fact, the guy's been out there 30 years. He catches some nice fish. And I know he loves his metal lips. But continuing on what you were saying about knowing how to use these.
Yeah, it's important to take the time and learn what, how you could make some changes to that metal lip just by changing the line type. I've always told guys that ask me the best way to simplify it for you, so you don't get too confused.
Right.
On a traditional, just regular metal lip lure, kind of similar to that. If you want it to go deeper, always think opposite.
Right.
Okay. If you want it the plug to swim a little bit deeper, you move the line tie up. So if you want it to go down, move the line tie up.
Wow.
If you
now
want
that doesn't affect the lure if you change it. Doesn't affect the lure in any way as far as how it's going to react.
Yes. I mean, you have to know what the lure does.
Thank you, Orlando.
Conditions.
Thank you. You're answering the question.
What it does in different conditions. That's why I kind of chuckle when I see people ask me hey, do you have a swim video? There's no way I could give you a swim video that's going to show you what that plug is going to do in a rip current or pushing or receding water. There's no way I could replicate that. You're not going to get the idea of what that plug actually does. I sometimes people are I want to see a swim video.
Right.
They all wiggle good.
Orlando.
The pond. They all wiggle good in a simple pond, but is that how you're going to be fishing it?
Right.
It's not going to wiggle good when you throw it in a rip and you're casting in a certain angle or whatnot. Right. So it's really important that
I have to interrupt you right there, Orlando. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard straight from Orlando. This is a plug builder, all right? The guy cares about his business. He's making some decent plugs here for everybody. Did you just hear what he said? This is so important. I don't care if you're buying a Super Strike lure or a popper or a plastic. Get out there and use the thing. If you haven't used a 10-inch plastic before, know what you're doing. Are you going deep? Are they underwater? Are they on top? Know what you're doing. And what do I mean by that? Work the plug a little bit. Working in some rougher waters. Working in still waters. Work the plug so you know what it's going to do for you. Do you feel like you're hitting fish? Well, how are you working that plug when you're hitting the fish? Don't change. Do the same. What he said about the metal lip in the front. If you lift it higher, and always think opposite. Always think opposite. If you think the plug's going too deep, no. Just lift it up. It'll bring it up a little bit more. I asked him about, again, I said to him, is it going to change the effect of the lure? You see, these are not questions to ask a lure builder because there is no answer to that. You have to fish it yourself. You have to get out there and work it all types of ways, which I love to do, especially if I'm in a nice body of water where it's clear. That last 20 feet, I can see the plug. I can see what I'm doing with the movements that I'm doing. That's what's great about surf fishing, guys. We build our game as time goes by, learning from people like Orlando tonight, learning from Mr. Poseidon for bringing Orlando on tonight. I'm a great guy, aren't I? Let's stop and take a moment of silence here for me. I'm kidding. So anyway, going back to Orlando. Orlando, I do like the way that you are very caring about your business. I knew from when I spoke to you on the phone the first time who you were, and somebody who doesn't look to just make profit and hire somebody else and says, hey, do what I'm doing. There's a 14-month waiting list if you don't believe me, guys. And I suggest, you get on the list, pick up a lure from Orlando. I would say yes on that. I mean, the guy cares about what he's doing. It'd be nice if we got a nice couple of catches here in the Northeast with Orlando's lures on there. I know Adrian Ayala is going to be using those real soon. He showed me those. I actually felt them. They felt like soft gold, Orlando. I love that feel. But anyway, the show usually runs till 8. We're going to run it a little extra tonight because Orlando is on. Again, I want to remind everybody, excuse me, Orlando, that I'm going to be having a giveaway of the Bubba stainless steel pliers. I've never used these before, but I like them. They are not cheap pliers. Obviously, they are not Van Store pliers either. But to whoever wins these tonight, they also come with a holder in the back that goes on your belt. Whoever wins these tonight, I want you to stay in touch with me and let me know how these guys work out, because I know when things say stainless steel on them. Now, you have to understand, as in like Orlando, it's a different grade when you buy an Orlando lure and you buy one made by, and no disrespect to anybody named Frank out there, you buy a lure made Frank's Lures. So you got to know what you're buying, so the quality. So when I say stainless steel here, there's different grades of stainless steel. You can get stainless steel from Spain, which is the #1 out there, German stainless steel. Top of the line stuff that when you hold it out there, it's not going to rust on you. And then you can get cheaper stainless steel, which really will rust on you after a time being if you don't take care of it. But that's just a little idea of what I'm trying to teach you guys. When you see stainless steel, it doesn't always mean it's the best. You got to know where that stainless steel is coming from. And right now, I don't know where this stainless steel is coming from. So the guy who wins this, please let me know how these pliers are. And if they're good and you give me the go, then I'll go buy a pair and use them. And if they're good from there, I'll endorse those for a fee, that is. But anyway, other than that.
Frank on the West Coast was asking, where, Orlando, do you do most of your striper fishing? On the coast or the Delta?
Now, just to let you know, Frank Azevedo is from Stripers Gone Wild.
Yeah, in California.
Yeah, I follow the migration. I fish for striped bass year round. That's all I fish for. I'll be very honest.
Me too.
I have salmon, steelhead, trout fishery, sturgeon. We got all kinds of halibut. We got all kinds of other fishes we fish for. But my main focus is striped bass. I fish for them year round.
I got a question, Orlando. This is important. It's asking, is it true that striped bass were brought from the East Coast to the West Coast? Now, I never heard that, so I'm asking because one of my subscribers is asking.
That is 100% correct.
Wow.
Yes.
Cool.
So they were brought from New Jersey, from the Navesink River, and I think of the 1890s. They brought, I think they put about 200 striped bass in containers, and they trained them on the railroad system. And, during the 1890s, a lot of stuff was going from one coast to the other via train. And they put 200 striped bass. And if you think about it, if you look at where the San Francisco Bay Area is at in California, and you draw a line all the way across the United States, it's basically almost parallel to New Jersey.
Wow. So then the waters.
So the water and climate is very similar. Now, we don't get the harsh winters that you guys do in New Jersey.
True.
But during average temperatures, it's perfect. We have a ocean, a bay, and a river system for them to spawn in. So they basically, we have basically like the sister system set up for striped bass. So that's why they brought them over here from the Navasink River.
So cool, man. So cool. I just learned something tonight. Even Edwin
Yeah.
Rivera, one of the subscribers, is saying because East Coasters love striped bass so much, they brought them to the West Coast lakes and rivers, etc.
Yeah. So and they flourish. Now we are in a little bit of distress at the current moment with striped bass here.
Right.
Because at one time on the West Coast, our population was booming.
Right.
They even had at one time we had a commercial fishery for striped bass, but they stopped that because it dwindled really quick.
Right.
But prior to, I would say like in the 60s and 70s, our total biomass of striped bass was about 3.2 million fish.
Right.
So it was booming. It went from 200 fish to freaking 3.2 million fish.
That's awesome, man.
So what happened they created a water transfer system out here in Northern California, which the best way I could describe it, it'd be like, what's one of your, give me one of your major freshwater rivers out there, the Hudson or where you have a lot of fresh water pouring. Let's just use the Hudson, okay?
Right.
It'd be like building the Hudson before that water hits the salt water, where it meets the salt water and you get that brackish water.
Sure.
They build a tunnel system that collects that fresh water.
Yeah.
That system goes all the way, all that fresh water and fish goes all the way to Florida.
Wow.
That's basically what we have out here.
Wow.
So when they open those gates up to take that water,
sure,
it takes the fish as well.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Our population has dwindled, and once they open up those gates and those fish are in that system, they will never be back in our system because they make it all the way down to Florida.
Wow.
You know, I'm just trying to correlate for the East Coast guys so they where it can make sense. Once those fish are in Florida, they ain't coming back.
Right.
They fish against the system,
they're coming
so they're never going to spawn.
Right.
They're never going to procreate. So we went from 3.2 million biomass of striped bass out here to now we're sitting at about 250,000.
Wow. So is that going to change now? Is there anything in the act on that?
So right now I am working with NorCal Guides and Sportsmen Association, which is one of our big supporters for striped bass, and they just want a healthy fishery in general. We're working on getting a slot limit on striped bass out here. We need something. Here's the thing, man. The fisheries in general, worldwide, but especially let's focus on the United States.
Yeah, without a doubt.
In general, they need a vast revamp.
Yes.
Because how can you have the same or very similar regulations to 20, 30 years ago?
Yeah, it's true.
Are you telling me that the fishermen have the same tools and the same opportunities, same information than they did 20, 30 years ago? No.
Right.
You know, I got better reels, I got better line, I got better lures, I got better rods, I got better information, I got Facebook groups, I got Instagram, I got text. I mean, you got all the tools. I got depth finders, I got side scans, I got sonar scanners. I can tell you with a sonar scanner, I can tell you exactly what that fish is. It'll outline it. It's basically like playing a video game. We have the best technology and tools. So how could you have the same regulation? You telling me that the fishermen now are getting the same skunks that they were 20 years ago, or are they being more successful than they are now?
No, I understand.
Fishermen are a lot more successful. The learning curve went from 2-3 years to learn how to fish, and now it's probably a few months.
It's correct.
Put the timing.
It's correct.
You know,
that's correct. 100%.
How can we have the same regulations that we did from 20, 30 years ago? It's just not fair. You know, so I think that's where regulations need to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Striper Seeker is asking, do you guys have blitzes like we
do on the East Coast?
Because of our population level, no.
Yeah, I know that.
You will run into once in a while like a school of schoolies blitzing like that, but not nowhere
Right.
near to what you guys have on the East Coast. It's not even close, man.
If you
I
look
mean,
on, yeah, I understand, Orlando, for that. I knew that beforehand that the question was asked. But I want to ask you right now, I got the final picture up. I see that you got a group of 5 right there. Can you tell me a little bit about those and what they are and what they do?
okay, so that right there is a collaboration that I'm doing right now. I just finished wiring them up
Beautiful.
with Mike Fixter. That's a Mike Fixter turned those bodies, and I basically painted them, and I put the tags on them, and I wired them up. So it's a collaboration with Mike Fixter, the guy who
Right,
taught me.
right,
That's his style of lure. That's his style of eyes that he uses.
right,
And I just did the outside of it. He
right.
turned them, did all the drilling, cut the lip slots, did all that stuff, added the weight, did all that stuff. Then he sent me the lures, and I do the other half. So it's basically, we like to do once a year or so, we do collaborations.
Sure.
And so I put my take to a lure on one of his lures. So I should have those ready and available here in a couple of days.
Is that for
So,
me? Are you saying in a couple of days? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, Orlando. Orlando, I just want to tell you, I was very excited before the show and during the show. And what I've heard come out of your mouth, I consider you a professional, man, 100% from what you've talked to me about tonight. And the thing that I learned new tonight, guys, was that we planted striped bass in the West Coast. And I didn't know that. I had no idea. I'm so focused here in the Northeast and chasing them throughout Connecticut, New Jersey, New York. I've even gone to Massachusetts a few times. Once to Maine I've been before. I didn't catch anything. I remember I got skunked for 4 days. I was so excited. Anyway, let's not talk about that trip. After the 4th day, you want to kill a rock you think is looking at you funny. But anyway, other than that, I love my striped bass fishing. I love my lures. I'll be going to a show coming up in the Narragansett. What is that, honey?
Yeah, Narragansett.
Yeah, Narragansett. They're having a show, trade show. I'm going to be there. I'm planning on being there. See if we can live stream a little bit from there and get it out to the public so they can see it in other states. But I love the way that we both love catching striped bass. I'm proud to catch striped bass. I'm proud to be a catch and release fisherman 100%. And I don't count fish that have swallowed hooks. And I don't think it'll happen anymore because we have the law now of circle hooks, and I follow the laws. Make sure, guys, you have all your permits.
Crush your barbs.
Yeah, crush your barbs if you're really into conserving stripers, and also crushing the barb and getting a hook in your finger. You'll be so glad that you crushed that barb. You will be so glad. You don't know the feeling of getting a hook stuck in your hand that you cannot get out. Most of us do. But anyway, let me finish off this slowly, Orlando, with you. Go ahead, honey.
No,
Go ahead.
want to say hello to Kevin Cuff from Ramsey Outdoor.
Yeah, Kevin Cuff, buddy. Kevin Cuff said he spoke to you about your lures just, I think, a few weeks ago. He's in Ramsey Outdoor. That's the shop that I mainly go to for all my top-notch equipment, Van Stalls, everything you can imagine, every reel, every rod, ODMs, GSBs, St. Croix, they got it all. Winter jackets, spring jackets, pullovers, surf fishing gear, waders, boots, just like a regular fishing outlet store, but and so much more. Kevin has always been my support there. The guy is a young kid. I call him a kid, but he's very, very serious on his striped bass fishing. He's always helping me out, and I thank you, Kevin, for that. He will be a guest on the show very, very soon. Thank you, Kevin, for coming on to the show. Like I said, I think he spoke to you around Thanksgiving about some lures, Orlando. I don't know if you remember him.
So many people.
Yeah, so many people probably call you. So, all right. So other than that, Orlando, anything else? Any shout outs to anybody else? Do you want to finish this off with something? Tell me.
No, man. I appreciate giving me the opportunity to speak. You know, and just try to educate people, man. That's the main thing. We all have roles. You know, we got people that are following us from ages, 8 years old to, 70-year-old men. They all, listen. I think it's important that we just constantly work on learning and educating people, man.
Absolutely.
And, just take on that responsibility of being responsible influencers. Leading by example. That young kid is looking at you and looking up to you and making sure that you're being a good example. There's a lot of pressure because you have to put out content, or you want to get stuff out and whatnot, but also make sure that you're being cautious of what you're putting out. And
right.
I think that's important. We're all here to help and educate each other, but also be, cautious of, what you say and what you do, and like in a responsible way.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna cut you off 1 second on that. When you say it's a responsible way, what I feel you're saying off that is, if you have a problem with somebody or somebody says something, be responsible. There's no reason to start cussing or anything like that.
No.
You take it in a responsible way, explain yourself, hear him out. Always hear out the other guy first who's upset. See what he's upset about, and always try to do the right thing, because you're trying to do the right thing already. So it shouldn't be a problem from the start. But always remember, guys, catch and release, so important. I'm going to start preaching that more and more, and we can enjoy this sport for many, many generations to come if we follow the right circuits. And if they're not set up like that, maybe a few of us should get together and try to do something about it, which will make our industry even stronger for the future. Orlando, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on tonight. I don't know what to say about that. I'm proud. I'm proud to have you on. I like the way you spoke about striped bass, conserving, how you deal with your lures, how you started with your lure company, how you started in the surf fishing business, which is actually just fishing. You found the right person, and for a right person who's been around that long, to take somebody like you by your side means that you're a good person, means that you're not a know-it-all. If you're a know-it-all, people like that will basically say, no problem, and then you'll be fishing alone the next time. When you're not a know-it-all and you absorb information, men love giving information, and so do women. They love giving information out and for having people to listen to them. But when you're dealing with somebody who is a known legend in the area, you really got to, pick up your guns a little bit and say, hey, listen, let me sit back and let me listen to exactly what this man has to say. And don't ask too many questions. Just follow. And in the future, I guarantee everybody out there a better surf fishing experience. Correct, Orlando?
100%, my man.
There you go,
100%.
brother. There you go. Other than that, again, I want to say thank you to you for being on the show tonight. Anything else, Orlando?
Nah, man. I mean, I like I said, I appreciate the opportunity, and
yes.
So
if people wanted to get right, we will. We definitely we're going to be doing it, especially now in the winter, before things get hot, so the orders can come in. But how can somebody get in touch with you? I want you to tell them, how to pick a lure. What are you looking? Can you do, on your own? You tell them. Tell them now. Yeah.
Basically, I use every single multimedia outlet out there. So if you're on Instagram, just hit me up on Instagram. Send me a direct message. I don't ask for no money up front on any of my lures, because I'll build them when I build them.
Right.
I just go in the order that you sent me a message that, hey, Orlando, add me to your list, and I log it in, and then when that plug is done, then you can pay me.
Right.
But I don't ask for no money up front. I have guys that ask every 3 months, they send me a message, hey, add me to the list again, add me to the list. Because I go in order to what you contacted me in. So,
Correct.
Like
Only
right
fair.
now, I'm finishing off my August 2020 orders. And when I'm done with those, I'll scratch off 100 plugs on my log.
Yeah, right
And,
on.
and then, I'll work on the next batch.
There you go.
So, or you can hit me up on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, and also you could go through my website. I have my website. I have a contact page there. It's fishnorcalcat.com. You can send me a message there. However, whatever's easy for you.
Okay, sounds great. Definitely a good deal there, Orlando. So other than that, once again, thank you. Anything you want to ask Orlando, honey?
No, all good. We got really good comments, like John Francisconi saying Orlando's the real deal.
Enjoyed meeting you
Enjoyed
this
meeting
evening.
you.
Yeah,
So,
just
really
good stuff. Senior citizens don't have as much time, LOL, he says. So he's right on that. John is basically 27 years old at heart. He just recently turned 80 years old. He's a big-time fisherman up here in the rivers in Piedmont. He can tell you what's in that river at that moment. He has X-ray vision. He's a good fisherman. He's caught some big fish. Seen all the pictures with John. John's a dynamite guy, and I like fishing with him also. Other than that, thank you, Orlando, for showing up. And we will do more of these, Orlando, without a doubt. I want to have you back, even more detailed on your plugs and everything.
Awesome.
So thank you so much, Orlando, for showing up tonight. Guys, just stand by. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be giving away tonight. Okay. Other than that.
Hey, I could give you a quick tip on that stainless steel plier right there real quick.
I'm going to put it overhead right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you a quick tip on what I do on all my gear. Okay, because it's going to get wet, it's going to get salt water, it's going to get messed up.
Sure.
On pliers, myself, I don't use expensive pliers because I'll probably lose them.
Right.
So I'll give you a quick tip. Everybody likes eating bacon, right?
Yes.
Or your wife likes making bacon. Next time she makes bacon,
I make the bacon.
Put the grease of the bacon.
Yeah.
A little container, little Tupperware container, small little one. Try to put that grease in that little container.
Yeah.
So every like 6 months, what you're gonna do is get that container, throw it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and it liquefies.
Sure.
Then you're gonna pour that liquefied grease in the hinges to those pliers.
Sure.
And what it does is it coats your hinges so it never rusts up.
Yes.
And also it repels the salt water and any water trying to come in contact with it. So you have a smooth operating plier, whether it's $100 plier or whether it's a $10 plier.
Sweet, Orlando. So you heard that, guys. From now on, that grease you've been dumping down your sink, enough of that. Put it in, strain it nice, strain it, run it through a little strainer, put a napkin or even a paper towel, let it run through, build up that grease, and like Orlando said, every 4 to 6 months, I would say, drop a little grease in that thing. The bacon grease, that's the difference here we're talking. I feel like this is a homemade recipe, and I love homemade recipes. So I'm going to give that a shot. Nothing to be worried about. It's oil, guys. It's like oil you're pumping on there. If anything, you'll be fishing and you'll get hungry. Bacon smells good. But other than that, definitely, Orlando, I thank you for that little tidbit right there.
Very cool.
So, guys, like I said, in a minute, we'll be giving this away. Well, I'll show you how to enter so you can get the giveaway. All right. Orlando, thank you so much, buddy. God bless your family, everybody. Keep up the hard work.
Thanks, Orlando.
I know you do the right thing over there, and I will be in touch with you soon. And anybody else who wants to get in touch with Orlando, I'll leave his Instagram on the bottom there on the end of this video.
And the website, we'll put it in the description.
And you can get in touch with Orlando. So thank you, Orlando. Thank you, buddy. You have a great night, buddy. And God bless.
Happy holidays. Merry
happy
Christmas,
holidays,
Orlando.
buddy.
Thank you, guys. Happy holidays.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
See you. Bye.
All right.
Awesome.
That was awesome. All right, guys. So it's getting a little late out right now. Let me put myself up there. There we go. Let me put my wife. You haven't even seen my wife. Let me put her on the big screen. There she is.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Put up the music now. The show's about to begin right now. Hey, how you doing? All right, so overhead. Once again, I'm going to show you guys. got a couple of good giveaways here.
How are we doing this giveaway?
All right, so this one right here that you see on the overhead right now, this one right here, guys, all right, you're gonna go on the bottom of this video. As soon as the video's done, it's gonna post on YouTube. Leave a comment. From now on, we're gonna do the giveaways like this because I don't want any issues. Last week, the bag and the belt were won by Luke Mantini. I didn't know who he was because all I saw was Luke on the thing, but I was so happy that a subscriber who's been a while from the start had won it. I'm happy if anybody wins it, but I was glad that Luke won it. There you go. So today is going to be this, but in order to get this, you have to be on next week's live stream. Be on the show, and when I make the announcement, you got to be on. I'm going to give you 1 minute, just 1 minute after that. 1 minute. If you're not on there, I'm going to pull the comment picker again for the winner of these fishing pliers. 8.5 inches long. It comes with a bell holder in the back, as you can see. Now I'm going to show you guys some other really cool stuff. So check it out. Let me open this for you. So I got a Van Store VX right here, right? VS series. There it is, guys. Brand new in the box. And also I got, you guys know what this is, right? You guys know what this is. Check it out. Watch. This is super exciting, isn't it? So I also brought the handle here, the updated handle, the bigger handle, the one that you really feel it, and not this little, you know, this little tiny little thing here. But anyway, that I also bought. This is basically over a $900 setup right here that you're looking at, and it is. It is a $900 setup. Take it or leave it, it is a $900 setup.
Take it.
I know, my wife's like, stop. So you're going to be getting a Van Stall. There it is on the side, a VS 250 BXB. This is going to happen when I reach 100. When I reach 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to have on a great guest. I promise you that the guest that I have on, you guys are going to love. Dynamite guy. So that's going to be a part of it that night. Also this, the Van Stall 7-inch titanium pliers, beautiful stuff here. I mean, come on. Look at that. I mean, these Van Stalls are something else, man, you know. It's come with a, you know, it has a spring action, so you don't have to hold it like I'm holding it now. You could just hold it like this, and it opens. It's got the cutters on the side. It's premium stuff for premium subscribers, guys. And also, it's coming in the mail is the VR, which is next. It's coming in. So this will be 1, 2, and 3 in prizes on 1,000 subscribers. Next week, obviously, we're going to give out these next week, right? But the prize for next week is going to be a Pen Slammer 3. I want you guys to have the best. It's brand new. It's in the box. I don't want to open this one. It's got a seal on it right here.
Okay.
So these are prizes that are coming up. Like I said, the Van Stalls, no, not next week. But it's for future, man. With 1,000 subscribers, I'm almost there. I got about 850 subscribers. Anybody out there who's new listening, dudes, I started this show here. Let me get my wife on. She keeps taking herself off.
You had the overhead showing the prize.
That's right. Oh, that's right. I did that. I'm sorry, darling. I love you. She wants to kill me right now. But I want to let you guys know that... man, I care about you guys. I really do. All I do is talk about you guys. And my wife's like, oh, shut up. Let's go out for breakfast. I went out for breakfast this morning. I made her real happy. She's dynamite. Hey, Kevin, what's up, buddy? I mentioned you a little earlier. Ursula, Francis, what's up? How are you? Lance, Jay, Edwin Rivera, YS Outdoors, what's up, buddy? Striper, Seeker, Mario Gandini, Alan Waters, Big Joe Kasulis. What's up, Big Joe? How you doing? Yes, the bacon grease will solidify when cooled and protect longer than with WF-40 anytime. There you have it. I like that, Mr. Kasulis. Way to go. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, like I said, I want you guys to have the best. That's why I go out and I get the best. Obviously, I want to grow my channel. I want to have more people on. I love what I'm doing. I love fishing. I love my fishing subscribers. I love my fishing followers. It's lots of fun. And I learned so much because of all you guys. So much. So tonight, what are we giving away tonight, honey? Is there any? No, that's it.
So it's the pliers.
Yeah,
and
the
they
pliers.
Comment on the video.
Yeah, comment on the video on the bottom, and then next Sunday, that's when we'll do the raffle. But you have to be on the show.
You have to.
You got to be on the show. You got to give it to me a little bit. I'm spending so much money on this stuff. Yeah, the store gives me 5%, but hey, you know what 5% feels like when they go 5%. You're like, yeah, all right, I'll take it, whatever. All right, so they give me 10%. I'm happy. But still, I'm paying for this stuff. The VS, the Van Stoll, man, that's a beautiful reel, man. I'm like using it, and I have it out, and I'm like, I don't want to give this away, but I am going to give it away, without a doubt. So all we need is basically about 140 subs, and this is going to get done. And at the same time, we're going to have a wonderful guest on that everybody will appreciate. It'll be a 2-hour special that day. Lots of fun, lots of prizes. Not only the 3 tops, I'm going to have a few more other prizes on. Like I said, I want everybody to know. You deserve more subs, but it does take time. It's taken years to get to 10,000 subs I have. Only the sellouts are overnight YouTuber stars. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Mr. Big Joe Kasulis. Yeah, boy, I love that. That guy's into his channel. You hear what he says? It does take a long time. It's a lot of work, you know? Unless I decide to put on like a pair of bikini tops and go fishing, probably get a couple of thousand subscribers that night. I'll probably lose about 500 subscribers. Other than that, thank you guys for showing up to the show tonight. It's getting a little late. Again, let's go down the list here. Jason Palmatier, what's up, buddy? Yes, buddy. I hope everybody out there, you know what's coming, and it'll always be like that on my show. Even if I get big enough, I will guarantee you, I will rip these products out of these companies just to get them on here and get them to you guys first, man. Anybody out there who's listening for the first time about my channel, it's all about surf fishing videos, mainly striped bass. We talk about products I like, and I live stream every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Also, I want to mention Bill Wetzel. Bill Wetzel has gotten me to this point I am today. I followed everything he had to say, studied everything he had to say, and practiced everything he had to say. So thank you to Bill Wetzel. If you guys want to check him out even further, surfratsball.com. It's a blogging site, dynamite site. I'm a member there. Some really great Long Island fishermen are there on that site. You can learn a lot of information on that. So thank you again. Thomas DeLeo, what's up, buddy? I love you, Thomas. Thank you for coming to my site. All you guys. Helen Papagnostu, what's up, Johnny?
Kevin says, forget the VS, he wants the pineapple.
There you go. Kevin, cheers to you, my man. You're all right. Kevin, guys, if you don't know, we'll leave a description on the bottom of this video. He's on Instagram. Kevin is the cow bass man, period. The guy catches some whopper fish. I'm not going to tell you where, somewhere in the middle of, let's pick, Wyoming. He catches big cow bass in Wyoming. We don't like to burn spots here. I try very hard not to. I put out a video earlier tonight. I hope you guys can catch that one.
Watch the video.
Yeah, watch that video. It's pretty cool. I thought it was. It was.
And Tuesday night, you're going to be speaking at
I didn't
Hudson
mention.
River.
Tuesday night, I will be speaking. I'm pointing up to that ruler up there. It says the Hudson River. The Hudson River
Fishermen's Association.
Let me say it. Fishermen's Association. I will be there Tuesday night. I will be speaking there. And at that one, I will also have a Z surf bag and a Z belt. I'm going to be giving that one also away over there. I care about people who care about surf fishing and all kinds of fishing, whether it's boating off a bridge, off a pier, off the surf, off in a lake, anywhere. I like it all. So thank you, guys. That'll be it for tonight.
That's it.
The show.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, guys.
See you
Thank
next
you.
time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.